What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kpop Kimchi podcast, your number one podcast for girl groups with the number one fanboys. I'm your host, Justin Turneau, with my co-host, Brian Limper. We did it. We made it.
It was a long and winding
distance.
road.
We finished the good fight.
But
that
we did
was Boys Planet.
We did.
12 weeks.
Doesn't seem like that long.
You know, it doesn't seem like it was that long, honestly.
But it was like...
Now it's over.
Well, 12 weeks. That's like freaking 3 months.
I know, right?
Holy crap.
It's a freaking fourth of a year.
That's literally the entire, like, almost beginning of this year.
That's crazy.
Wow.
We've been watching this show every Friday, non-stop. It is crazy. It's done. And it's finished now. Like, there's no more Boys Planet ever.
That is kind of crazy to think
It
about.
blows my mind. Whenever we have stuff like that we watch for a super long time and then it's over, it's always a weird moment of, like, I don't know what to do. But
yeah, it's like,
what's going on? But Boys Planet is done. I think the final lineup maybe came out a day or so ago, but we watched it Friday night.
we did a reaction video.
We didn't
put the reaction video up.
Yeah, check out the reaction video. I feel like it's our best one we've had, honestly.
I honestly feel like we were more shocked in that than we were for Girls Planet.
I think so, too.
Now that I think about it.
Maybe overall more emotions. Yeah, I think so. I think there was more shocking moments, to be honest with you. But yeah, Boys Planet, we got our group. We got our new boy group to lead us into the 5th generation, which
Zerobaseone.
Zerobaseone.
ZB1.
ZB1 is a cool name. Zerobaseone, I don't know. I don't really want to call... I feel like that takes too much of my time to say Zerobaseone.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a really long name.
Hey, what's up? We're Zerobaseone. Just ZB1. Just keep it at that. But that is our new boy group with our 9 members that made it through the gauntlet.
Barely. Very shocking, honestly.
The last episode was 4 hours long. Just a hint under 4 hours. Which is
like 3 hours and 49 minutes.
Which is, honestly, ridiculous. That is so long.
That's a very long show for anything in
That's
general.
like half a work day.
That's like longer than any of the Lord of the Rings movies.
We could have traveled to Chicago. We could have traveled to Indianapolis. And the show would still be going on if we started it at the same time.
To St. Louis, ate the hot pot, and then drove back.
And we would be cutting it. Yeah, probably.
You'd probably be home.
Probably. We could probably go eat in St. Louis and come back and catch the end. It's just a long show.
Well, I mean, to drive there and back is maybe like an hour and a half, hour 35
yeah,
minutes.
we could probably be perfect timing.
So that'd be 3 hours. And anytime I've ever gone and ate there, we only ate there for like 30, 35 minutes.
We'd literally come back and catch like the most important moments.
We could have come back and see who got ranked number 9.
Pretty much. But yeah, it was extremely long, pretty ridiculous. It seemed like they had a lot of filler stuff in there.
They did have a lot of
like sentimental stuff, like looking back, and actually they had them do a lot of fun things.
Yeah, they did do a lot of games.
They did like a V Live thing, all this stuff. But what we cared about was the lineup.
The eliminations.
The elimination is what we cared about.
Before we get into that, Justin's got some...
Oh, we're going to try a drink because I don't know if we've done that.
I've never had it on the show.
I've never had this. It's called Chamberlain Coffee Mocha Latte with almond and coconut milk, and it's plant-based, so I'm going to go out on a limb. This is going to taste horrible.
I was going to say.
We just kind of saw it at Walmart a few weeks ago. I don't know. We're like, did you have one ever?
I've never had it.
So I never had it. So we just, you know how we like to try new stuff. So we're going to try this mocha latte that's plant-based Chamberlain coffee. It has a mousse on it.
So you just got to...
I
don't know if it'll be good or not. I don't know. It says with almond milk.
It doesn't smell that great. I'm going to let you have the first sip. I don't know. Go for it, man. It looks brown, and it looks like it has little floaties in it.
It kind of smells like coffee.
Yeah.
Mocha latte.
I'm going to just let you go. How is it?
Oh. 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
I do not like it. I'm not drinking anymore. Oh! It's so bad. Come on.
Hits like a brick.
Oh, it's gross. Why did I not get the Snickers one? At least that would have been sweet.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Well, we would not recommend Chamberlain coffee.
Do not drink
How is that good?
Who okayed that?
It does taste like a plant. And guess what? Plants taste gross. It tastes like dirt. Ugh. And you wash it down with Snapple. Sorry you had to listen to that.
Oh. That was not good. At first, when
My
it hit
tongue-
when I first hit my mouth, I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's not that bad. Then I swallowed it. Nope.
There was like 0.2 seconds where you're like, oh, okay. And then the rest of time, oh, my tongue tastes so bad now.
I will say, so there was a bunch of filler stuff in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because there always is. We did get to see them perform the opening song to their show for the first time.
Yeah, like actually the first time front to back we saw them.
This crazy stage that they're on right now.
I will say the setting was amazing.
It was really
It was like in an actual kind of type of Coliseum arena type thing. There was a live crowd. The stage was big.
Kepler was there.
Kepler was there, yeah. Kepler was there. The judges obviously were there. And a lot of the boys that got eliminated were there.
Really the only interesting
thing
thing
it was cool because it was a big crowd.
I was like, really the only interesting thing you need to know about the entire first... I don't even know, the first like 30 minutes, 35 minutes of the show, right?
Yeah.
Was that Jungwoo made like the most impressive hat I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Did like make themselves in like carnation flowers.
Yeah.
And give the cakes to the
they like made
judge
cakes for the judges. Well, and the thing was I guess they wanted to make themselves the flowers, but it showed them and it was just like, I guess it was paper. It was just the paper laid out in front of them. Like,
it was kind of like
nothing was made.
Not really, I don't know, not paper. It was like the velvety...
Yeah, it was like some kind of material.
I don't know.
Material. I wasn't really
like
sure.
Like little kids use when they make projects.
Pretty much what I was getting at is that everything was just laid out. There was nothing done. There was nothing prepared. There was no instructions.
No, just like
it was like, hey, make this. You guys do it how you want. And my gosh, that was the most impressive hat I've ever seen. So he should not be an idol and make hats.
He needs to go make those on like what is the one show my mom watches all the time? Next Top Model or Next.
Oh my gosh.
Like I don't know, but they like go basically and they're like make the fashion stuff for runway models. I forgot what the show is called, but anybody who watches that show, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Just go watch this
episode. It's not like Bravo.
And let me tell you, if you don't know him, you'll know the hat when you see it.
Yeah, the hat's crazy.
Because it's a crazy... Everyone else kind of made something, and it's like fun, but his looked like it was like a Gucci hat. This man... he was a real carnation.
This was like something... You'd buy in like a store.
Yeah, like no, it was quality. I was honestly one of the most impressive things of the whole show. So good for him making a goofy hat that was actually awesome.
Then you had the performances, like the final stage performances, which I mean, like, technically was live voting, but at this point it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But the first group was Jelly Pop?
Jelly Heart, Candy Jelly, something like that.
And that was like the more light, upbeat, fun stage. And Zung Hao got to be the killing part of that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because both guys who got the killing part like kind of popped out of the ground.
Yeah, they like brought everyone out of the ground, but then the killing part person came out of the ground themselves. The stage was really cool.
It was really good. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
Jay really got hosed by being main vocal number 6.
Or
sub vocal number 6.
Such disrespect. He had like he had like one kind of ad lib line and that was it.
Then later on, they showed the next group, which was Hot Summer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this performance wasn't really bad or anything. It just reminded me of a not as good EXO performance of like Coco Bop.
Yeah, that's all I thought about. It wasn't... Nothing really stood out too much about it.
And that center was, of course, Hanbin, because why wouldn't it be?
Hanbin was the whole show, so... They were both good, though. They were both fine performances. I like the first one a little more.
Also, the little announcer guy for this one, because they always have someone different, was the dude from 101. That was in the first
he was back.
episode, or second, whatever it was.
Yeah, and he did like all the announcing and the names and everything, so.
True. And then we got into the top 9, which is actually kind of nice and not nice, because on the one side, you have to listen to the other guys that weren't in the group first, you know, like before, like the lower ones.
Right.
But then on the other hand, they took so much time in between announcing who it was.
Oh my gosh.
That the whole announcement could have lasted 25-minute tops. It was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it took a long time for that. But they just make it as dramatic as possible.
They really do. To a point where it's like not even like dramatic. It's just annoying.
You're just like angry and you're like, please.
It's not even like a suspense. Like, oh, who's it going to be? It's more like, I'm just so irritated. Like, just tell me, or like, not watching this
or I
anymore.
want to just look it up on Google. And then for the most dramatic part, I feel like they made it not as dramatic, and I'm like,
yeah, that was kind of weird.
What are we doing? But
so the first one that I announced was number 8.
As you do.
Yeah, and that was Jiwoong.
Yeah.
Who actually fell a lot because he
moved down a lot.
What? Actually, I can look it up. He was number 3.
He moved down a lot,
and he went from 3 to 8.
Yeah.
So that was kind of crazy.
That was we didn't see any. That was the one spoiler I saw on accident. Headed into the show, and it made me really confused because he moved down a lot, and I'm like, what does that mean for other people? But yeah, Jiwoong was number 8.
Number 7 was Gyuvin. He didn't really move at all.
Yeah, he was no surprise.
He was just kind of the same.
He's just been there the whole time.
Then number 6 was Tae-Ray, who actually fell out of the top 4 where he'd been for the last couple weeks, coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I don't know how much people actually liked him because I don't pay attention to other social medias or Twitter or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I will say, kind of suspicious that he was in the top 4-ish for the last couple ones that made it. And the group or company he's from is Wake One.
I know.
So
makes you think.
Kind of sketch.
Makes you think.
Then number 5 was the one that we pretty much realized he was going to be in there anyways after last week. That was Gunwook.
Yeah.
There's no way he wasn't going to be in the top 9.
It was weird when he was out of the top 9. And we figured for a while he was destined to be in the final.
Then number 4, I'd say, was maybe the second biggest surprise of the whole one.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's because Ricky was number 4.
Yeah.
Which was kind of shocking. Because we said that we weren't sure if he'd make the final one or not. Because he just appeared in the top 9 last week. So we've liked him for a long time.
Since the practice stage, or the first stage.
But he kind of just appeared out of nowhere. And so that was awesome.
Yeah, we were really excited about that one.
Number 3 was Matthew.
Yeah.
Who also I was kind of shocked was that high because he'd been falling every week since he was number 2.
We were nervous. I was nervous about him for sure, just moving down. Just because, he was in the show so much. He had so much good stuff they showed, and then there's some times that were not his greatest moments that they showed too, so you're, kind of wondering, is this why he's moving down? And I hope that doesn't mean he's moving out. But,
are they, trying to sandbag him here?
But obviously, yeah, it kind of seemed like that at some points, right? But obviously, he did fantastic, and he had a top 3 finish. That was crazy.
Then they had the announcement for who's going to be number 1, and it basically was always, they brought up 2 trainees. The one who got announced was number 1. The one who didn't get announced was number 2 by default.
Yeah.
So essentially, you had your top 2 people up there.
And it's literally...
And it's the same 2 it's been every single time. Zhang Hao and Han Bin.
It's literally the most... It's just... I don't know. It's exciting, but also the least exciting thing ever because...
But I will say...
They both make it, but this was exciting.
But because of that one single fact, we've seen it so many times. This made this the greatest M. Night Shyamalan twist I've seen since The Sixth Sense.
We finally saw the opposite.
And it said that basically... The number 1 and number 2 was separated by 100,000 votes or something, which
really
seems
close.
A lot, but really isn't a ton.
No, not. It's close.
When we're dealing with millions, percentage-wise, it's not too much.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, Zhang Hao became number 1 for the first time ever.
He did it. It was amazing.
Han Bin was number 2 for the first time ever.
From being number 1 every single moment of the show, whether it came to voting or just in group aspects of being the most important person, he was the top. Han Bin was the top, but it matters in the end. And in the end, he was number 2.
And I'd say that was probably the number 1 most shocking moment for me.
That was probably... definitely one of the most shocking moments I can think of an elimination show, watching it, not live, but for the first time. That was definitely up there.
Well, I just mean of this show.
No, yeah, I'm talking about all of them. That was crazy. I think
it's because we just got so used to seeing them.
I would not have guessed that at all. It was crazy.
Hey, a real fun fact? Sorry, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But we were watching a clip of Han Dong making it in the Chinese elimination show she was in a while ago into the top 60 or something.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the votes. that these guys got, you know? And her votes would have been good enough to make her number 5 in this
Oh, I
group.
thought it would have been third. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's
because
crazy.
she had like 1,400,000 something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rookie got 1,572,000. So she would have been a top 5 person in this group.
I will say, it did seem like the votes were a little low. I'm not sure if the vote... Maybe that's because the voting was only in that specific... It was, because the voting was not very long. That had to be why, right? Like,
Probably.
because the votes were way less than what they had been. But it's just because they did, like, it was live TV, essentially. So that's why it was shorter. But yeah, Zung Hao, good for you, man.
Now, after number 1, we had the most coveted spot. And that was number 9.
Yeah.
And this is where I expect there to be like a big, like, oh, like these are the top 3 people who could get the number 9 spot. You know,
Yeah,
really give
what
more
the
false
heck?
hope to them.
Yep.
And they did not do that. They just announced it, which after all this, was kind of
Like,
surprising.
it took a minute, but then they just said the name.
And it was Eugen,
Yeah.
which we knew he had to be in the group because after everything that they've gone through with him on the show, how much they've shown him, how many times he's been in the top, there's no way he was not going to be in the group.
Yeah.
Still kind of shocked he was number 9. But then again, we also saw Shouty become number 9 after being number 1 every week.
It was
so.
his placement was a little shocking, but once he was like the person not there and there was one spot left, we were like, okay, it's got to be Eugen, right? Like,
We knew it was going to be a Korean member. So it was either going to be between him, my favorite guy, Park Han-bin, or Huey. But I was like, why would Eugen not be in the group?
he was a spotlight.
Or that would have been the greatest upset ever, even over like Han-bin losing to Zung Hao.
He was a spotlighted character of the whole show since day one. The one judge was a little hard on him, but he won him over and did better. All the other judges loved him. Like, he did pretty well. I mean, he's definitely a quality dancer and everything, but
and he's really young, so he still has a lot of time to get better.
It just seemed really weird if he wouldn't have been in the group. So it wasn't a huge surprise that he got the 9th spot. Just a little surprised that he was in the 9th spot, really. I thought they were going to have like 3 different people. Be like, it's between these 3.
Yeah.
Or even, who knows, it could have been 4. I don't know, just to make it as dramatic as possible. But they just said his name.
Yeah.
Like, oh. It's like,
all
right.
That was your group for Zerobaseone.
That's Zerobaseone.
I think it's the first time we've ever seen a non-Korean member win first place.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Also the first time we've seen not Han-bin sitting in the number 1 seat.
He didn't even know, I swear he didn't even know where to go to find the 2nd seat because he never had to.
First introduction dances when Huey was in the number 1 seat.
Yep.
Another fun fact for you to stew on here. Out of the 9 people that made it, well, 3 of them are from G Group. Mm-hmm. The other ones are from K Group, the 6, which we expected.
Yep.
That
is true.
1, 2, 3, 4 of them are from U-High Entertainment. 1 of them's from M&H Entertainment. 1 of them's from Wake 1. 1 of them's from Jellyfish. Han-bin, who's been like number 1 of all time, is from Studio Glide. That's actually a kind of cool name. Never heard of him.
I don't even know what that is.
And then Ji-woong, who's was like a top 4 guy every year, or every...
Yeah, he was.
Elimination, was an individual trainee. So...
He just entered himself?
It's not like we're getting guys from like random companies.
No. Especially you're getting 4 from one company.
I think it's crazy that 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are from UI Entertainment. 2 of them are from the international UI Entertainment side, and the other 2 are from the Korean UI Entertainment.
Isn't Ricky in there? Is she from it? Yeah, because that's where Ollie was too.
Him and Zung Hao, they all were together in the one performance.
Yeah, so like we know that group after 2 years and 6 months, what's going to happen is like they're going to be in a group.
Still find it kind of suspicious that Tae-Ray shot up the rankings the last couple of weeks. He's from Wake 1.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I just didn't think he did that. I just didn't think he did that great. I didn't think he did better than other people to deserve that type of jump.
I don't think he did either.
I mean, there's other people in the group.
I was gonna say a couple exciting. I'm tripping. A couple disappointing people that didn't get in. Kita somehow did not make it into the group.
That one hurts. I think that one probably hurts the most, honestly.
After being like a top 5 person, top 6 person every single week in every elimination, he did not make it.
Well, he just did everything he could, and that's what sucked. That's what makes it hurt. Is like, if he's like, oh, well, hey, what could I have done better? It's like, nothing, man. You did great.
It's kind of like Haruto last week.
Like,
Like, I don't know how he didn't make it. He was good every single time.
You did fantastic. People loved you. The judges loved you. You were a top 9 person throughout the whole show. It's just tonight wasn't your night, and this was the night it mattered. Like, it sucks. And
let's just say that's what happens when you leave things in the hands of the star creators.
The star creators for like a 20-minute period, or however long it was to vote.
Like I said earlier, my boy Park Han-bin did not make it. Huey didn't make it.
You know, the 9th spot was so up for grabs there for a little bit, but then if Yujin was in the group and the 9th spot was still open, and I don't know, let's just say, I would feel like Hanbin would have a really good shot at getting it, but once Yujin was like the available free agent, I'm like, I think this is kind of over for everyone else.
The one thing I will say, I talked to one of our people on our Discord about this the other day. I'm actually kind of happy that Huey or Hotek did not make the group.
Yeah.
Same with, like I've said multiple times before, I'm not like upset or anything that Eugen's in Kepler, but with the fact that both of them had careers that have already kind of run their course,
yeah,
it would have been nice to give that shot to somebody who had not been in a group previously for multiple years.
100% feel that way.
So even though they're not like on my list of my favorite people in the group, I'm glad like Tae-Ray or Guvin or Ji-Woong all got a shot to debut and be a group for a little bit over a guy who's been a notable member of a group for a long time.
Yeah.
And I said the same thing about Eugen. I love Eugen. She's my favorite group ever. But I would have loved for someone, even like Maya or even like Sion, who's in Billy now. I would have loved for them to get a chance to be in a group for a little bit and have that spot that she got.
Yeah.
Because she was in CLC for 7 years. You know, it's not like she was in like a group that disbanded after a year and a half, like whatever that one group was, Hot Issue or like, you know, some group like that. Like she was around for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm happy he's not in the group, not out of like, you know, spite or like a malicious way, but I'm glad that other guys are going to get a chance to do their thing for a little bit and then go do whatever they're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
And technically, Pentagon's still a group, so we just go back to Pentagon.
Yeah, I was like, he could just go do that.
Also, he honestly, by his reactions, did not seem too surprised he wasn't going to be in the group. He wasn't so upset about it. Like, Keto was like crying.
Honestly, throughout the whole show, it almost kind of seemed
like he knew he wasn't.
Maybe just because he's a veteran and like he just knows kind of the game and everything. He just, from his reactions, he never got too high or too low on anything. So I feel like he was 100% prepared for this situation. I don't think he's upset. I don't know. I think he just wanted to do it as kind of a challenge. And he did well on the show.
He did say at the beginning, I honestly feel like he's really happy for these dudes that made it.
Yeah.
He did say at the beginning he didn't want to be here. It's Huey from Pentagon. He's here as Hotek. And he wanted them to beat him as challengers. So
he just wanted to...
He just wanted a good competition.
Just kind of just do it and work hard. And he definitely did.
And he held his own. I mean, there's only 9 spots. What you going to do?
He definitely did a great job on the show. But again, I don't think there's any like...
Because if there's like 10, 11 spots like other groups that they've made, he probably would have made it.
Yeah, more than likely he's in there. But yeah, he seemed fine.
He's also a great songwriter. So he's got a career.
Yeah, he can do whatever. I mean, he can do whatever he really wants.
But yeah, just to say, I'm glad these other guys are getting a shot to be in the group.
Yeah.
I wish that would have happened in Kepler. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think the other guys that were there really had too much of a shot to be in the group to begin with.
No. I don't think so. I did not expect Jay to be in there.
No, he kind of fell out of grace for a long time. He just was never back.
Actually, I'm pretty sure go back like 3 or 4 episodes ago, I said I think Jay's in trouble. I just did not, I don't know, it didn't seem like it was going to happen. Again, Hanbin maybe had a shot if the 9th spot wasn't with Eugen available. Some of the other guys, 0 shot. Kita's hurt, but once we kind of saw the group falling into place, and certain people making it in certain spots, you're like, okay, Kita probably not in there either.
I'm also I'm just shocked he didn't make it. Like, that was like probably the most surprising part. But
yeah, but we knew you're only going to have so many G group members.
He also technically can go back to Cypher because I'm pretty sure they're still a group. So
yeah,
it's not like he's like...
It just sucks because you could see that he wanted it.
Yeah, he was like literally crying.
He wanted it, and it's tough because, again, he did everything right, and it's just, it just didn't work out for him. He was great. I loved
One of my favorite people in the whole show.
He was awesome. We loved him since the beginning of the show. It's just, again, only 9 spots. So,
also, going back to our episode last week where we made our final guess predictions for the final lineup, the only one we got wrong was Kita and Ricky.
Yep.
Flip them. So we were 8 for 9. If you would have flipped those guys, then we would have...
You're essentially right on the G group members and K group members.
But I mean, if you're going based off history and statistics, Kita would have had a better shot at making it in. You know what you're going to do.
Just because he was
there every single week.
There longer, so... But yeah, it was good. I mean, we got all these new guys. It's going to be fun. I mean, I'm with you on Eugen. We love Eugen and watched hours and hours of Eugen. But that is the reason why you do want that shot for someone else. And
I feel like if you combine all the hours of content we've watched of Eugen doing things with CLC, it probably adds up to longer than the amount of time that she's been in Kepler currently.
Oh, I guarantee it. Yeah, I mean, just hours and hours. And I mean, again, super happy for her because she obviously was talking about how she wanted another chance at being an idol. And she didn't have the opportunity that Hotek will have going back to something because...
She even said in the first episode of the show that CLC, they were told to leave the dorms.
Yeah, and it's not like she was a songwriter or producer or any of that. Like, he has more to go back to than her, so she, I guess, had more of a shot that way of just like, I need this or I have nothing in a way. But still, it would have been cool if it was someone else, just because it's new. It's brand new, and I mean, Eugen's doing fine. She's a great leader and doing good in Kepler, but you just, like you mentioned, it'd be cool if other people could kind of get their first shot at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, that's our boy group. It was fun. The eliminations was really fun. It was actually pretty nerve-wracking and exciting. Like, we had some cool stuff that happened that we didn't expect.
I was also thinking of going back on it. Probably pretty spot on that Khan didn't make eyes.
Oh no, I've have thought about that randomly sometimes, and we've talked about it. I'm sure it's like no chance does she make eyes one, or like she does not need to be an eyes one.
Nope. So whoever rigged that did it right.
They did. I mean, that's the thing. People complain and blah blah, and I think people actually get in trouble legally and go to jail there. But like the groups they put out are like picture perfect, scientifically made groups that need to be what they are.
So once it undoubtedly comes out that both of these are also rigged.
I know, right?
I'm going to be like, these guys are like, their batting average right now is like 100%. Like, they're like first ballot Hall of Famers.
These groups are the most perfectly put together. I don't know whether they're not putting groups together for like companies. Like,
yeah, seriously.
They most put together the most perfect groups ever. Yeah, like, how old was Khan during that time? Like 26?
Yeah, she's like 25, 26.
That would not have
worked. The same episode. Dude, I can't talk to that. The same age like Eugen was when she debuted with Kepler.
Yeah. I guess, like, I don't know. But Eugen's mannerisms and stuff almost fit Kepler more than
She's the fake mocker.
And
so.
Khan would have fit with the girls from Eyes One. So, yeah, definitely. And then, again, like you said, like, someone else is getting a shot, so that's cool. But, yeah, it was really exciting. It is funny because it was exciting, even though we got pretty much the whole group right. Yeah. It was just the placement and where people ended up that was like, whoa.
True.
Like, it was actually a big surprise for us, but it was really fun. I mean, Boys Planet was awesome. It was cool to tune in every week and just see what everyone was up to, and we'll definitely check out their debut. I'm sure it's going to be freaking awesome.
Shout out to everybody who came and listened to us. I know we've got a ton of listens over the last couple months.
Yeah.
A lot more followers and subscribers.
Let us know what you think of the group. Let us know if your person made it. I guess I'd say, I don't know. I mean, I was rooting for Ricky, so I'm happy about that one. There's some people I'm like not as excited, but I'm still like, this group's pretty sick. They're going to be awesome.
I'm sure it'll be just like Kepler, and once they debut, it's going to be great.
Oh my gosh, I'm in such a better mood after this one debuting than Kepler debuting, even though I will say I was more invested into that than this. But I was not a happy camper after that announcement at all. I was sad. But now I love them and they're the best group ever, so that just means good things for the boys.
All is well that ends well.
Heck yeah, just what they want us to say.
But yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It was a fun 12 weeks. We'll be back next week with something. We'll figure it out.
Completely different.
It's going to be really weird, but we'll be back with something. But until then, that was Boys Planet. And we are the Kpop Kimchi Podcast. I'm JT's Fall Girl, and we're going to catch you guys next week. We love you. Peace.
Later.